evening and welcome to the New Mexico Philharmonic's Wednesday Night Live. Tonight, I will have very casual conversations with two of our own musicians, great violinists, Heather MacArthur and Eric Sewell. We'll start by watching a video of Heather performing an excerpt from Brahms Violin Concerto, accompanied by pianist Simon Jacobs. Let's watch it. And here's my first guest for tonight's show, our violinist from the New Mexico Philharmonic, Heather MacArthur. Good evening, Heather.
Hello, it's good to be here. Thanks for including me.
Well, thank you for participating in our Wednesday Night Live. And how have you been throughout the pandemic and all these months that we have not had a chance to perform?
I've been good. I live in Colorado Springs, and so I very much miss my excuses to visit beautiful Albuquerque. It's been on my mind to go down there, even though we don't have concerts, just because I love New Mexico and I love the people there. But I've been good. I obviously very much miss performing, but have been managing to get some time into travel and to enjoy the beautiful world which we live in, some national parks and some beautiful hikes and all of that. So overall, it's been a good, albeit weird year.
Well, fantastic. You know, you look great. And I so much enjoyed your performance of the Brahms Violin Concerto. And I remember when you played that at the audition, you know, 2 years ago, right before you joined the New Mexico Philharmonic. You already sounded great then. And, you know, what an opportunity to be able to perform in the midst of this crazy pandemic, right?
Yes, it's definitely special. And I was very grateful that a musician and music director at a church here in Colorado Springs asked me if I wanted to play on his recital series that he does. And I had this idea, why not just do the whole Brahms Concerto? It was a good excuse for me to learn the second and third movements, which I had not ever done before. And it was really amazing of Simon Jacobs to learn the entire piano reduction in a week. I want to say we did it with one rehearsal. So, but it was definitely an incredible opportunity. Yeah.
Well, you sound great. And, you know, you are in beautiful Colorado Springs. And this next video that we're going to watch is actually you performing outdoors with two other friends, and you're playing Corelli's Christmas Concerto, right? So we're gonna watch this video. You already have, you also have Cynthia Robinson on violin and Susanna Schultz on cello. Now, you playing in this beautiful setting, in this beautiful park in Colorado Springs. What is it called again?
It's called Garden of the Gods. And next time you make it up to Colorado, I highly suggest visiting it. It's a public park. It's free, very well traveled. And we were playing on it's called the Mesa Overlook, I think is where we were. And it was for a Christmas special for a TV channel in Colorado Springs that they aired on Christmas Day. So that was a fun thing to take part of.
Fantastic. Let's watch it now. Wow, that was absolutely gorgeous. It makes you want to be there, for the performance. We should organize a whole series of concerts in that
maybe
setting.
Not that day. There was a lot of wind. I think I remember the wind knocked down my music stand, and I had set my cup of coffee on my music stand, so really? It knocked my coffee. So yes, we should do a concert outside, but on a calm. Calm
we have beautiful places like that around Albuquerque, or even in Albuquerque. So let's think about starting a music series outdoors, because I would be the first one, just to enjoy the music there. It's such a privilege.
Yes.
Now, Heather, you've been with us for the last 2 years, and it's been so exciting to have you with us, because we have this incredible mix of people that have been, with the Albuquerque, with the New Mexico Philharmonic, have lived in Albuquerque for so many years. They were previously in the New Mexico Symphony, but we also have younger musicians like yourself joining all the time, and that's such a wonderful mix of musicians. So, and for you, I mean, how does it feel to be in Albuquerque with us now?
Yeah, it's such a pleasure and an honor to be a member of this orchestra. And I think, as great as this past year has been for me personally, to grow and to explore some of the interests of mine outside of music, I think one of the biggest and hardest losses is not feeling like I'm growing musically as well as I would, because I think, I can practice on my own. I can try to do little performances here and there, but there's something about playing in an orchestra with other musicians and with, a music director like yourself that really raises you to a level that you did not know that you could get to. And, I feel as musicians, we're all very hard workers. we are often perfectionistic. But as hard as we work, I think there's something to be said about being motivated and inspired by our colleagues. And I think that's one thing I love about playing. You know, you guys, I remember like my last concert, like, just a huge, beautiful sound. And, you know, you really don't want to slack off. You want to show up, be prepared, play your best. And the people around you like really do help you play better. And I know that the next guest tonight is going to be Eric, and I've just had the privilege of being his stand partner for a couple concerts. And it's just so fun because you learn from the people around you. You're inspired by them. You grow. Yeah.
I know the concert you're talking about. That was Brahms' Fourth Symphony. And I remember that so vividly because, you know, some of my best performances ever have been with the New Mexico Philharmonic. There's just, you know, I understand what you're saying about the colleagues and the musicians and the energy. When it comes to the concert, you know, after, you know, preparing all those rehearsals, and it's just, it comes together. Mm-hmm. And it's such a special feeling, you know, of like doing justice to that great music. You know, I always feel like, you know, Brahms would have been proud of his symphony if he heard this performance. But also, we have such an amazing audience that is so responsive and just, you know, they give us standing ovations when we really deserve it. And they are so engaged with our performance. And that makes such a difference.
For sure. Yeah, no, it was Brahms, good memory. And I think one of the concerts before that was Tchaikovsky Symphony No. 4. And that was another really memorable week. And I think, you know, obviously, me not living in Albuquerque, every time I come down there to play, it's fun because that is my focus, you know, like it's not like I have a lot of other things in life going on. That week I can just devote, and I know it's kind of, I'm lucky to be able to do that, but I can just devote to New Mexico Philharmonic, and it's just so fun. And I have been staying with like a really kind host family down there. They might be watching tonight, and just knowing that they're in the audience too, like speaking of the audience, just you feel supported, you feel appreciated, and thank you. Yeah, it's really great.
Well, we feel very lucky to have you with us, and I'm so much looking forward to our next concert, Heather. So hopefully it's going to be very soon. We're talking about all the possibilities, but thank God, you know, things are getting better. New Mexico is improving, you know, with the pandemic numbers and all that. So, and the vaccination is going on. So we hope that we will soon be able to be together again and make great music. So thank you so much for joining me tonight for this show.
Thank you.
And please stay healthy, you know, stay safe, keep doing all the great things you're doing. And you hopefully we'll see each other soon.
Wonderful. I truly hope so. Thank you.
All right, Heather. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
That was a delightful conversation with Heather MacArthur, violinist from the New Mexico Philharmonic. And now my next guest, another violinist from the New Mexico Philharmonic, Eric Sewell, will begin by performing the Chaconne, an excerpt from the Chaconne by Max Reger. our violinist from the New Mexico Philharmonic, Eric Sewell. How are you, Eric? Good evening.
Very well. How are you, Maestro?
I'm doing great, and I'm really happy to have a chance to talk to one of our musicians tonight. So how has it been, for you throughout this pandemic, keeping up with your playing and with all the numerous activities that you regularly have?
Well, it's keeping up with playing has been a joy because I get to play some things that I might not have the time to do otherwise. We play a lot of music in the orchestra, so you might not have time to do, little solo things or chamber music things. So that's been wonderful. Of course, the pandemic has thrown a wrench into teaching at the university. We really had to, get the right kind of precautions and things for the chamber orchestra, for instance. And when folks were completely off campus, how do we do it how do you conduct a rehearsal by Zoom or a performance? Fortunately, I was
Tell me about it.
Yeah, right. I was able to find some music that was actually composed for teleperformance, which helped us out. So it's an adjustment, but everybody knows that.
I was reading your bio and I was so impressed, and I'm so happy that I get a chance to get to know our own musicians better, and I had no idea you were involved with so many different things, including conducting and composing. And, you're also a paper sculptor of all things, and so many exciting, wonderful things. So, I mean, that can keep you busy, of course.
Yes,
especially in times like these. But I so much enjoy working with you in the orchestra, Eric. You're so engaged all the time. I can see the spark in your eyes, and now I understand, because you're just so cultured and so knowledgeable. And of course, being a composer yourself and also conducting, that makes the whole experience so much more exciting.
You're very kind. Thank you.
But we heard you perform an excerpt from the Chaconne by Max Reger. I love Max Reger. Most people don't know this German composer from Leipzig.
Yes.
But of course, having been born in Leipzig, having lived in Leipzig, Max Reger was so influenced by the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. What can you tell us about him?
Well, yes, of course, influenced by Bach. I mean, you can hear it in the structure. The harmony, of course, was much more advanced, being a late Romantic, late 19th, early 20th century. He himself was an organist, so I like to imagine that he played on some of the organs that Bach did. He must have done. But I don't know, what attracts me about Reger is there's, just like Bach, there's a real integration between kind of an intellectual aspect to the music, but very, very rich emotionally. And I find that very satisfying.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna watch a video of you playing another piece inspired by Johann Sebastian Bach. This is by Hungarian composer György Kurtág, the homage to Johann Sebastian Bach. Let's watch this video. Now, that was very different from the Max Reger piece, and
Yes.
purely contemporary music. And what is your style of music, Eric, that you compose?
I would say more in the vein of something like Kurtag, but it's been a while since I've been asked that question. But I like miniatures. I fell in love with Webern in college. But another big influence was Elliot Carter, who writes just so well. And again, it's similar with Carter and with Webern. There just seems to be this intellectual aspect to the music that's, even though it's so emotional, and even if you're not aware of it, it just kind of sits in your brain and helps you make sense of this music because it's so well constructed. It just, I don't know,
It's the kind of music that's both pleasing to your brain, to your mind, as
Sure.
well as to your ears and your soul.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's been a while since I composed anything major, but yeah, I would say that's rough description.
I was going to say, you know, I'm looking forward to getting to know your works and possibly perform them. You know, so please, you know, make sure you make it available to us anytime soon.
If anything comes up that's appropriate, sure.
So it's been a pleasure to seeing you again, Eric. I can't wait to be back in Albuquerque with our wonderful orchestra.
Oh, me
and
too.
back to our activities. And, you know, just it's been 1 year since our last concert with Mahler 7 and Elgar's Cello Concerto. And I'm counting the days.
What a concert.
I know. It's phenomenal. Anyway, so I hope to see you soon. Things are looking better, thank God. And, well, I hope you stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Good night.
Good night.
Please join us next week with our musicians, principal violist from the New Mexico Philharmonic, Laura Chang, and also the principal harpist from the New Mexico Philharmonic, Matthew Tutsky. See you then.